You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Greetings and welcome to the Rusted Robot Podcast, episode 246 for Sunday, June the 9th, 2019.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Hello, I am C-3PO, Human Cyborg Relations.
I am Locutus of Borg. Resistance is futile.
You're like a machine underneath, right? But sort of alive outside?
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
You're not quite, human, are you? No, sir. I'm an android.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
Counterfeit, facsimile, replica.
We need some sort of robot. Ah, crap! I'm some sort of robot.
What are your prime directives?
Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law.
By your command.
Hey guys, it's Sean here, and who do I have with me right now? I'm looking around the room, and I see Josh and
Kitty!
And how is it going, guys?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm excellent. Thanks for asking.
It is finally sunshiny outside.
It is. I'm practically melting just sitting in your living room.
Oh, we keep our house very hot. It would have been that way in the winter, too.
This is true. So you have a kitty cat that we introduced to our listeners last week, and he is running around like crazy right now, purring and playing with paper.
Yes, he loves paper.
So our listeners may eventually hear him on the episode if he comes back.
Yeah. If it sounds like anybody's doing research, that's just the cat playing with paper.
Yeah. So how are you, Josh?
Not bad. I gotta work tonight.
You gotta work tonight?
Yeah.
More plastering and painting?
No, pressure washing the underground parking.
That does sound like fun.
Yeah, gotta do that after hours when nobody's around so I don't accidentally spray somebody in the face at full pressure, right?
That would hurt.
That sounds like fun.
Does it?
Well, not being sprayed, but doing spraying? Yes.
Who wants a drink from the fire hose? Yeah. All right, so let's just get into some geeky pop culture stuff since that's what we're here for.
Huzzah, huzzah!
Yeah, just like that. So last week you were not on the episode.
No, I was at work.
And the funny thing about you being at work is that we did not do our, what's it called? Shameless plug of her work. We didn't even mention it once last week.
I think that's okay.
No, it's a thing that we mention.
Oh, it's a thing that you do.
We mention your work every week, and we mention the Soulforge podcast every week, and we didn't mention, where do you work again?
And where do I work, Sean?
That's
if you do this plug.
Let me think. It's Pogoville. Pogoville?
Yes, I work at Pogoville.
No, that's not it. It's Hoptown.
Jump City.
Jump City.
Jump City. Jump City. City. Jump City. Timmins, Ontario, Canada.
See, I knew it was something like that.
Something with jumping.
Jumping at the city.
Yes.
Yes. And what do you do there?
I sell comic books and comic book and pop culture related items.
That's true. Actually, I went there yesterday, and your sister Julie was working. It was full of people, and I almost said, "Oh, you sell comic books here now." It was this close, but I didn't.
Oh, goodness.
There was too many people.
Too many?
Yeah.
Too much of an audience?
Too much of an audience. I like to be a little bit rambunctious, but not with a lot of people.
Ah.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of things.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But you can find Jump City at 38 Pine Street North, Timmins, Ontario.
Here in Canada.
Yes.
That's right. You look hyper amused today, Josh.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just a weird setup for the plug, that's all.
Why? Why is that weird?
It's not our best transition.
Well, they can't...
You know Sean's known for his broken down segues.
Yeah, they can't all be grade A. But speaking of transitions, and talking about podcasting, this past week on the Soulforge podcast, did you get a chance to listen to it?
No, I do not listen to the Soulforge. I told you that.
I know, but your sister Julie does.
Yes, she does.
Yes.
But we were busy yesterday.
Well, that's right. This week's episode was actually me talking about how to be a podcaster. I called it "Want to Start a Podcast?" And I just went off and told them my my history of podcasting and some of the things you need to know to get into it.
That's pretty cool.
So, episode 104.
Is there information about your editing and stuff? Because you do a good job with that.
Yeah, I did talk a bit about editing.
Mm-hmm. It actually seems more important than the actual talking bit.
The talking bit?
Yeah, we can just sit and talk.
We can just ramble.
Yeah.
Yeah. The magic is the magic. That's where it happens.
Because like you remove like the minor sounds of like the chair squeaks and the from people drinking their tea.
I don't take all of them out because you have to leave some in for authenicity's sake.
For ambience.
Exactly.
So
that's
they
right.
feel like they're here with us.
Yep.
In our house that's much too hot.
That's right. And I do my podcast in my basement. But there's a window right by where I record, and you hear the traffic go by.
Oh.
And in that podcast, I was saying something like, and then you remove all the sounds, and then this car goes by, and I left it in. And then I said, and then you can do like little sound clips, and then I put in the ICQ, uh-oh. And then I said, and you can do voice clips, and then I put in your plug from when you say, this is Kitty from Jump City. Forge your soul. Yeah, so a lot of fun. I think you should listen to it.
Yeah, I just don't have very much time lately. Yesterday, we were busy doing the outside window at work in preparation for Pride.
Ah, what is Pride?
For the LGBTQ community and supporting all of...
Because June is Pride Month.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it takes us a little while to get any of our windows set up. But it's finally done, which is good because I think the parade's today.
Is it today?
Either today or tomorrow.
Oh, this weekend.
I think, yes.
I have no idea. But you are supporting the LGBTQ community?
Yes, we do our best to be good allies.
And what do you do to support?
Well, mostly, we actually carry comic books year-round that...
Have gay characters?
Well, not just that, but they also just relate to the community in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Good to be inclusive.
Yeah.
We here at the Rusted Robot definitely support everybody.
That's good.
Yeah, we do.
I am in full support of normalizing, so that's just another person.
That's right. Yeah, who cares who they like?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We're all humans.
It'll be nice when everybody's like that.
Exactly. That's right. So, what are we going to talk about geek-wise now?
Geek-wise.
So you were saying something about owning a comic book shop here in town.
Yeah.
Any cool new comic books that you should tell us about? Any, like, mind-bending or earth-shattering or significant comic book events coming up? Last month was Free Comic Book Day.
Last month was Free Comic Book Day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we have any large events coming up for the summer, but speaking of Pride Comics, though, I have another one that's coming out. So before, I think I spoke about Witch Boy on the podcast.
Yeah.
There's a second half to that book now, which is cool. It's called The Midwinter Witch. It's by Molly Oystertag. Here is the little synopsis about it. Magic has a dark side. Astra always looks forward to the Midwinter Festival, a reunion of entire Vassan family that includes competitions in witchery and shape-shifting. This year, he's especially excited to complete the annual Joel Run tournament as a witch. So if you read the first comic, Aster's a little boy who he's just more drawn to the witch arts, which for whatever reason in their society is for girls only.
I do remember you telling us
and
about
all
this.
of the boys are shapeshifters.
Right, that's right.
But he just has an aptitude for witchcraft instead and cannot shapeshift.
Uh-huh.
So it's actually really, really good. It's a good story. He actually winds up making friends with a normie because he lives almost in a society that's similar to, what's that M. Night Shyamalan movie? The Village. Yeah, where they're like just kind of isolated.
Ah, yes.
But yeah, so he winds up wandering out of there and makes friends with a normie, like a regular person who travels in like a car and had no idea that witches were a real thing.
Okay.
But she winds up helping him like solve all kinds of cool mysteries.
And is it a comic book or a graphic novel?
It's a graphic novel.
Okay.
I believe it might have started as an online thing.
Ah.
But I like being able to hold the comic in my hands where the internet can't take it from me if their site goes down. So.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
I am all about the obsolete technology.
Yeah. It's just, there's something pleasant about having it on your shelf and knowing that it can't just disappear.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that too.
But it's a really good book. It has a very pleasant art style.
Oh, pleasant.
It's very good storytelling. I can't say enough good things about it. It's a good book.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I recommend it to all.
Very good. So let's get into some movie reviews. Is it last week that you took the kids to see Aladdin?
No, we went to go and see Detective Pikachu.
That's what it was. Not Aladdin. It was Detective Pikachu. And Josh said you said that it was good.
It was really good. I actually think that, Josh anyway, I know he liked Pokemon enough to probably like this.
Okay. Let's give us your spoiler-free review.
Okay, so from what I had heard originally, that it was supposed to be like a retelling of the first episode or first movie of Pokemon, but it wasn't. It's a completely different story. It has like a kind of similar beginning that kind of brings back the nostalgia, but the rest of the movie is a completely different movie. And even the beginning of the movie is different. It just has a similar feel in the beginning where you're just like, oh, is this going to be a retelling of the first movie? And it totally is not. It's very, very different. They explain away many things that people question, like, why are the Pokemon
a thing?
Following people around? It doesn't explain why it's a thing. I assume those just are the animals and it's normal there, so they wouldn't really talk about
It's just part of the world.
why
so
there's animals around.
You just accept it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty great. They do touch a little bit on how the other Pokemon can understand each other and people don't understand Pokemon, but that people can like feel what their Pokemon are saying to them, if that makes any sense. Like once you know them really well, it's like how people imagine their dogs and cats talking to them.
Yes,
because you know generally what they want, but you don't actually know what they want because
Well.
they're not talking to you with words.
Yeah,
But that's how
body
they
language
communicate.
and
yeah, and we just kind of get used to it. So it's like that. The story is really, really good. There are some very good humorous moments that are funny for both children and adult people.
Okay. So you can go there as an adult and not be bored silly.
Yeah, it does. It has some jokes in there that are clearly for adult people, but it's like how they used to put jokes like that into like all the Disney movies where just whoop right over the heads of children.
Right, of course.
They just don't catch it at all because it is a thing that happened in the movie and they make a reference to it, but it sounds like it's
innocent.
It's for something else to adult people, and to kids they're like, yeah, they said that because that happened, but
really,
but it's a reference to other things, which makes it very silly for adult people. So all the parents laugh and the kids are like, I don't know why that's so funny. Which is pretty great. The music is actually pretty good. All of the Pokemon still manage to look like, they all look like the Pokemon look, but with like textures on them, but not in a way where it's creepy. Okay. Although there's certain Pokemon now where I definitely don't think I would like to see them in real life.
Okay. So overall, cinema score, what would you give it? How many rivets out of 10?
Maybe like an 8.
That good, eh?
I think an 8, yeah. It was a good movie. I would buy it.
Oh, wow.
It's definitely like a family or children's movie. It is not made for adult people, but it definitely was made knowing that adult people are going to be watching it. And it's still quite entertaining. I would watch it without the kids, but a lot of other people aren't really into
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it does have a lot of very cartoony moments, which is great because there's one character where when you first see her, she talks like an NPC in the game, but she's also putting on an act.
Okay.
Because she's trying to seem cooler than she is. So it just works in really well, because it's like, why is she talking that way? But then as you get to know her character, she's doing that because she wants to seem cooler than she is. So she's clearly made up a script and was like, I'll say this when I run into him. And it just sounds very silly. So nobody talks that way.
Okay, so you were amused.
Yeah, it was good.
And would you have gone to see it without kids?
Yeah, I would have gone to see it without kids.
Will most adults who like Pokemon go see it without kids, or should they bring a kid?
No, I think adult people, if you love Pokemon,
yeah,
and if you went to go and see the first movie and were very excited to go and see it, you'd probably like this one.
Okay.
Like, with or without children. But if you have them, you must bring them.
Of course.
You must share with them the joys of Pokemon.
And you took both kiddos?
Yes.
Okay. And they both loved it?
Yes, they did.
Right on.
Hey, podcast fans, Spotify is making it easy for you to stream this podcast and many others like it on your mobile device, desktop app, and smart speaker. Open the app on your mobile device or desktop, click on the browser channel, then click on the podcast section. You'll be able to stay thoroughly entertained during your commute to work, your drive home, and your downtime, thanks to Spotify.
Okay, so actually when we recorded last week's episode, we were talking about Godzilla. And you said, I gotta take Kitty to see that tonight. So you did? We did. And I saw it this week as well. So we can talk about that right now.
Yeah, spoiler free as well.
Well, there's not much to spoil. It's giant fighting monsters. So really...
You know what's really important, though?
Tell me.
There's a stinger at the end of the movie.
There was.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
A lot of people didn't know that, and they didn't stay.
Lots of people don't stay.
Yeah.
It's true.
And it was on Netflix for a little while. Well, not Netflix, YouTube for a little while. You could watch the Anne Stinger, but it's been since removed.
Of course. Right. So, good film?
Great film.
Yeah.
too much people.
Ha! You always say that.
You know, I was thinking about it myself, actually, and they made you care just enough about the people, but they weren't really that important. You know, like, it wasn't totally emotionless. It was just enough, but there was lots of giant fighting not robots, monsters.
Yes. I love the giant fighting monsters. I found it was very much like the original movies. You know, they tend to have a variety on whether or not they focus more on the monsters or more on the people. We have a whole movie where it mostly focuses on a little girl that carries around sleeping grass, and the plant is like her best friend.
This is not the Godzilla movie.
That's one of the original Godzilla movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, that's always... People have always been a huge part of Godzilla. Josh just prefers when it's all about monsters.
Look, once the monster fight starts, don't cut away to people's drama.
They always do that, though.
Don't cut away to the people drama. The people drama's not as good as the monster fight.
Never is, but they have to intercut it to break up the action.
No!
Well,
I came for giant fighting monsters.
Yes. And the CGI was actually really great. And it wasn't too much quick action, so you could actually see what was going on. The only part that I had a little bit of trouble with is when whatever creature that is with the 3 heads.
King Ghidorah.
There you go. It was hard to tell what was actually happening at all times, but it was still pretty coherent.
I liked that he moved around in such a way where all of his heads were working kind of independently, which is odd because they're all attached at the base.
Mm-hmm.
But like in the original, that was like a dude in a suit, and the 2 other heads were his arms, so like he couldn't do much, right? So this one, it was neat because like his heads could go farther because I think his necks were longer.
They were very snake-like.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And they were biting each other and fighting with each other as well.
Sometimes they were fighting each other, but then like sometimes if one of them got, say, like tangled up or stuck, the other head would help it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is odd. Like I don't understand why they fight. They all share the same internal organs. Like,
yes, but
they should work together.
Separate brains.
I know, but it's just funny that they wouldn't get along.
Yeah, but if you're stuck, because it's a conjoined twin situation.
Yeah, but like...
But it's conjoined triplets, and like, you get annoyed with your siblings, particularly if you can't go to a separate room.
That's true.
I guess.
And
my family's weird, though. We all work cohesively as a team, so...
Yeah, but it's because you can go to a separate room and be alone for 5 minutes.
That's probably true. Damie and Mina would be an excellent conjoined twin.
I could believe that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like it's not the same siblings all the time either, because the one head got ripped off.
Oh yeah, that's true. So they changed.
Yeah, so you got a younger brother with you.
Oh no. Yeah, that would be awful. Never mind.
Yeah.
But the effects were great.
The effects were fantastic. The story with the humans was good, not great.
No, it was just enough to backlight the giant fighting monsters.
Yeah. I loved that guy. My favorite guy in the series has always been the guy who was rooting for Godzilla, the let them fight guy. He's my favorite guy.
The Asian dude.
He was so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a good actor, that guy.
I love him.
Yep. And I liked how they kept referencing Skull Island, but we never actually see King Kong at all.
Yes,
so
that was good.
That was pretty cool.
Although there were some carvings with him in it.
Yes, there were cave drawings or carvings and stuff,
Yeah.
but we never actually saw Kong.
Yeah.
So does Kong count as a kaiju then?
I don't know.
Because he didn't come out when the whole thing went off.
Yeah, he couldn't do... Well, I don't know. Maybe he was swimming and it just took him a hella long time to get anywhere.
The movie actually takes place over a fair amount of time.
Uh-huh.
And space, like all over the world.
Yeah.
So there's lots of that.
So he had more than enough... Like, Godzilla swam from Antarctica to...
I don't know if he counts as a kaiju. I don't know.
Because he wasn't shown where all the kaiju ended up in Boston.
I don't know.
So he might not be a kaiju, he just might be an ancient creature.
Yeah, one of the titans.
Yeah, just not connected however these guys are.
Yeah, maybe he's like separate somehow. Like, he's just like considered one of them, but has no power over him from other monsters.
But lots of destruction for the cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there were some monsters that I hadn't seen before. The one that kind of resembles a mammoth.
Yeah, there was that one. And there was another one that kind of walked on its wrists.
It's another Muta.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked like a Muta.
It looked like a very J.J. Abrams kind of creature, actually.
Yeah, it was another Muta.
Yeah. And what does Mutu mean again? Masters of the Universe?
No, they're the ones from the original one.
Yeah, I remember. I just can't
They were
remember
like the
that.
bug creatures. They were
Right.
like bug things.
Yeah.
Also, Mothra's in this one.
Yes.
And she's a badass.
She was. Yes. Her effects were excellent.
Her effects were excellent. Mothra was the best.
Mhm.
She was the best one.
Almost expected her to attach to Godzilla's back.
Yeah, that's what it looked like was going to
Make
happen.
him fly? That would have been so cool and so horribly cheesy.
Godzilla's face looked a bit smushed in.
I like when he has a puppy dog face.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have I think 2 figures where he looks like the puppy dog version of Godzilla. He's so cute. I forget which version that is. 1985 maybe.
No idea.
He has like a big long tail. He often did those strikes where it was like a jump kick, but instead he's riding his tail all the way across the land.
Ah.
It's so good.
His blue lightning effects was awesome.
Yes.
Were awesome.
His atomic breath.
Atomic fire
breath.
breath,
Yes, there you go. Atomic fire breath. That was excellent. Yeah, I
It was a
didn't.
good movie.
I didn't have any problems with it. It wasn't doing well at the box office, but I don't know why not. It was great.
Oh, also, this is not a spoiler, but I'd like to know if anybody else thinks that I think I saw Anguirus.
Who's that?
He was one of the original monsters that was friends with Godzilla. Sometimes they fought.
Okay.
Godzilla's beaten up Anguirus a couple times, but usually they're friends and they go places together. He kind of looks like an ankylosaur.
Mm-hmm. But spiky.
Yeah, he's like really spiky, and he has like a spike on the end of his nose.
Okay.
And his feet used to go backwards because it was a dude in a suit, so he was just crawling around
Yes.
on his feet. I think I saw him in the new movie.
He was in the one in Siberia, right?
I don't know. I think so.
Where
but
the
like,
mountains stood up in Siberia?
But like we barely saw it, so I don't know if that was actually him. But I want other people, other Rusties, to let me know if they think that they saw him.
And how could they reach us?
At your emails and stuff.
Yeah, what is that? You remember?
Okay, there's Darth Vader Lou.
That's on Twitter, at Darth Vader Lou, also Instagram.
Oh, okay.
But for specific Rusted Robot, therustedrobot@gmail.com or at the Rusted Robot on the Twitters.
There's so many.
Yes.
So many ways to contact us, guys.
So many ways. They can even leave a message on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
They should join the Facebook page if they haven't.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/The Rusted Robot.
Also, we'd love to answer hypotheticals from them if they have any.
Oh boy! Oh, that was unexpected. That's a cat crawling and climbing up my leg. I'm going to leave that in because this cat is too cute sitting on my lap now.
Yeah, he's funny.
Your claws, mister, are very sharp.
Yeah, he thinks he can climb people.
He just did.
Yeah, but I tried to trim his claws. I guess I have to do it again. I don't know if you guys know this, but you have to trim kitten claws, their front paws, twice a week.
Is that right?
Uh-huh. That's too much.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Godzilla. I'm thinking an 8 out of 10 rivets.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I'd say an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roughly.
It's really good. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that brought it down was
the people.
Yeah. Once you start the monster fight, don't cut away. I want to see Godzilla smashing things.
Yeah, well, obviously that is the best part of the movie.
I could have done with a whole 30-minute sequence of just the monster fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you could. I like the people part too, though.
And
the other thing that takes it down is Mothra was there, but no tiny ladies.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was a big thing for me. I really wanted there to be 2 tiny ladies.
But there weren't.
No. They did have the Mothra song, though, which was cool. It was altered a little bit.
Was it?
Yeah, but it was there. Whenever Mothra came on screen, she has her own music. And Godzilla had his music too. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but they had the whole Bum, 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 bum.
You know what? I never notice music in movies.
Oh, I
It's
do.
just part of the background for me.
Oh, it made me so happy.
But you notice if it's not there. But I never notice when it is there.
Also, the opening and closing song was the Godzilla song.
Okay. But
so good.
Definitely recommend it to everybody.
Yeah. Do you think they'll make a box set when they're done?
I don't know. I'm hoping they make a box set for the 2 Avengers films.
That would be cool.
Because I haven't bought either one of them because I'm waiting to see if they're going to do that.
I'm hoping they do. Because it seems every time I buy all of the things...
Cats aren't allowed on the table.
Every time I buy all of the things except for one movie, like I'll have one left to buy.
And then they come out
with a box set that has all of them.
Yes.
And if you buy it in that box set version, not only do you get sometimes special art or information about the movies, or the option of extra commentary,
I get
or
it.
a special box that it comes in to keep it all together.
That's right. This cat is really trying to get on the table.
Yeah, he loves being on the table. But if you buy it in that special set where you get a bunch of extras, you often effectively get 2 or 3 of the movies for free.
Right, exactly.
Because it's that much less. Which is really unfair.
Because you've already bought those.
Because I already buy all of them.
I understand completely.
I think they might be releasing them out in the phases. So the Phase 1 box set, Phase 2, Phase 3.
That's true. But I have most of those already anyway, so... I think I don't have the Ant-Man movies and the last 2 Avengers films and the second Captain America one for some reason.
I think Ant-Man and Thor might be my favorites.
Yeah?
Ant-Man, Thor...
Thor Ragnarok? Or just Thor?
All of the Thors.
The second Thor is horrible.
I'm Thor. And Iron Man, of course. Everybody loves Iron Man.
Of course.
He started it all.
He did. He's the originator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, he's a very successful drunk.
Indeed. So, speaking of not getting drunk, I went and saw X-Men Dark Phoenix last night, or as they say on title, just Dark Phoenix.
You went and saw it?
I went and saw it because...
It's out already?
Yeah, it came out last night.
Huh.
Yeah.
That was the trailer that was playing at Detective Pikachu.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, right on. Nice.
I thought it looked like it was going to be good. Was it indeed good?
Well, you know what? I wasn't expecting anything good from it at all because I'd been reading reviews saying how it's an event film without an event. It's got no reason to exist. It doesn't add anything to the story or the franchise or blah, 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 blah. And I enjoyed it. It was way better than I expected. It wasn't a great film by any means. It didn't make me feel any emotions. Godzilla made me feel more emotions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of just flat and everybody was going through the motions acting-wise. So it's yeah, we're here in this film. Whatever.
It looked like there were a lot of cool, explosions and stuff.
That's
your fight sequence movie.
The fight sequences were awesome. The action sequences were great. There was some nice character moments. At the very beginning, when Xavier is taking in a young Jean Grey, he tells her about this pen that he's giving her as a gift. And he says, "This is a pen. It's a gift. I'm giving it to you. You can use it to draw a beautiful picture, or you can use it to poke someone's eye out." And I'm like, what? And then he goes on and he says, "It's still a gift. It's what you choose to do with your gifts that matter." And I'm like, wow, that's really nice actually. So
yeah.
And then it all went downhill from there.
And it all went downhill from there.
But no, it was it was fun. It was, I think, an hour and 55 minutes or something, so it wasn't horrendous. Good CGI. There was one part in the film where there would have been a perfect spot for a Wolverine cameo. I kept waiting for the Wolverine cameo, and there was one scene in a bar where Jean Grey's in disguise as an old man, and it would have been perfect for Hugh Jackman to play that character.
There?
Yeah, but of course he wasn't in it at all. Very sad. There was, near the beginning, a great big fight sequence in a neighborhood, and in the background there was a blue car, because the film takes place in 1992, and this car, it was just sitting there in somebody's parking lot driveway, and it's the same car I had, my very first car. It looked like a 1985 Chevy Citation.
Wow.
It was blue, mine was gold, but I was like, that looks exactly like the first car I ever had, and so that made me happy, because they kept showing this car, lots. What else can I tell you about it? There was some character deaths. I don't know. It was all right, and I'm glad I went. And I wouldn't give it a lot. I would think about my rating, a high 6 or a low 7. Like, it wasn't super great, but if you've seen all the other X-Men films in the theater, you might as well go to finish it off, because it's the end of the...
Oh, is it the end?
It's the end of the Fox series, because Kevin Feige is, of course, saying that they're working on phase, 5 or is it 4?
4.
Okay. They've got their 5-year plan, and the X-Men weren't part of it, because they were working on it before. So he's saying that it'll be a long time before the X-Men join the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And you got to put a separation between the two.
Exactly. So it'll be a few years before we see those guys, I'm thinking. It was an okay film.
I'd like to rewatch the cartoon.
The 1990s cartoon?
Uh-huh.
Well, did you know, I just shared an article on Facebook today, that the team behind the original 90s cartoon is talking to Disney about continuing the series.
Oh, continuing?
Continuing. They did 5 seasons originally, and they want to just carry on where they left off. That's all the information that I have, but they're talking to Disney, and who knows what'll happen.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Those 90s X-Men cartoons were some of my favorite.
Yeah.
The Iron Man 90s cartoon, the X-Men 90s cartoon, they were all pretty good.
They are good.
Mm-hmm. That's where I learned most of my comic book information, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Because I never read comics when I was a kid, so...
I did, but not those ones, oddly enough.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So, maybe a 6.8 for Dark Phoenix.
The action's good, though, right?
The action was great.
That's mostly what they had in the trailer.
Yeah, and
looks like it's cool.
Fassbender, of course, did a great job. Everybody did a pretty good job. The reviews I read said Jennifer Lawrence just looked bored, and she kind of did a little bit. Like, yeah, I'm in this film, blah blah, whatever. But
yeah, but she always looks bored.
She does. That's her acting skill,
face.
I guess.
I didn't say when she was acting. I just said always.
Right, that's her. Yeah. Yep.
Maybe she's always acting.
Maybe that could be. So anyway, that's 3 films that we see, and we recommend seeing all of them in the theater to varying degrees. You know what? Now is a good time for Josh.
An awkward transition.
Always. Do you know, Kitty?
Is it a thing that Josh hasn't listened to yet, but is it a promo for one of the other podcasts?
It is.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we'll just go ahead and play a promo for another podcast here on ESO Network.
Check out what's been going on with the Pop Culture Cosmos Show and the PCC Multiverse.
That is by far my favorite, because it's also character-driven and the stakes are high and there's much more of a mystery and intrigue to it.
A game like Wolfenstein, which people are saying are one of the most socially important video games of the past 10 years.
Catch our shows on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on over 30 more podcast outlets, including our friends right here at the ESO Network.
And whatever I'm going to put in there tomorrow during the editing process, I bet that's a great podcast.
I bet that's a great podcast.
So, a little behind the scenes. I've been listening to the podcasts that I recommend to you.
Right.
And so far, I haven't hit a dud.
Well, that's good, because there would not be a dud here on ESO Network.
Yeah.
Because Mike know how to pick podcasts.
I'm not sure which one you threw in.
Me neither.
But I know it's not a dud.
There you go. That's a high recommendation from our friend Josh.
Ooh.
Yes. So, because we just did a promo, that's like a trailer for other podcasts, right?
Kinda, yeah.
And there's not been a lot of geek news the last few weeks, but we do have a couple trailers to talk about.
We do. We have scariest stories to tell in the dark. Trailer 1.
What's that?
It's your book of scary stories.
Some people believe if we repeat stories often enough, they become real. They make us who we are. That can be scary.
Eat it, Harold.
Do you want to see a haunted house?
Some kids went missing, so they boarded it up.
Okay, we saw it. Should we go now?
Who ordered the chicken?
What's that?
It's a book of scary stories.
Tell me a story. Hey, what's going on?
Tommy's missing.
Tommy's name was in the book. There's no way it's actually connected, right? Okay, what if what happens in the book is exactly what's happened for real? Oh my god. Augie!
Stella!
Listen, you're in the next story. We're reading it right here.
It's a corpse looking for her missing toe.
I'm afraid that we woke something up.
You shouldn't have taken the book.
We've got to stop it.
Sarah Bellows' book, where the stories write themselves and it all comes alive.
The jangling man is coming.
Isn't this the second trailer?
No, it's the trailer one.
I thought we already...
that was a teaser.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you gotta remember, there are teasers and trailers now.
Right, so we had a teaser a few months back, and this was the first trailer.
It looks so good. I really want to go see this movie.
It looks scary enough. Definitely not something to take your kids to.
It's so weird, because, like, even we got in 2 of the original scary stories to tell in the dark at work.
What is it?
They're books, yeah.
Okay.
And they're the same ones that were printed when I was little, but now they're in a thicker hardcover.
Oh. Julie
They're
did...
still really freaking scary.
And Julie did say something about you getting books into the store now? Because you're allowed?
Yeah, we got in some books. Like, things that are still, like, on theme, except for stuff, too, that we think just would be harder to get, because they're not necessarily brought into regular bookstores all the time.
Okay.
But, like, we don't bother to get, like, tons of regular books. Like, if they're going to be in there, it's because it's a cult classic, or it's, like, a small fantasy book for, like, a young reader or something like that. So, things like that. But we're not trying to be like a bookstore. We can get them in.
Yes.
So if it's easier for people to come to us instead of going to a bookstore,
right,
then they can order through us if they want to.
Well, that's good. That's a good option to have.
Yeah.
It is. So, this trailer, what do we think? Are we going to go see this movie in the theater? Is that kind of our thing?
I
Or?
would love to. I love scary. Like, aren't you guys not big fans of ghost movies?
I'm not.
I'm not a fan either way.
Right.
Like, I'll watch them, and I might enjoy this one, but I am not a genre fan in particular.
I don't watch supernatural.
You hate possession
yes,
things.
anything to do with possession or religious kind of tomfoolery. No, thank you. It freaks me out too much, and I'd rather not.
Oh man, those are some of my favorite things to watch. I love things that are like scary and spooky, and where the monster or bad guy you can't necessarily touch. So you can't just attack it with, like, a knife.
Okay.
Because sometimes it can be, like, in the body of your friend.
Right.
Or just, like, hovering through walls and stuff. Like, there are, I'm going to say, like, various ways that through the occult you can deal with those monsters. But I just like the idea of not being able to defend yourself from it. It makes it extra scary.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Because, like, Jason, Freddy...
Well, see, those don't bother me.
Those kinds of... Like, they
different.
often have, like, a physical body that you can...
Right.
You can kill them.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's less scary, right? But I like being really scared.
Okay.
It's funny.
And I never read any of these books when I was a kid. But you did?
Oh, yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
We used to read them at camp.
Oh.
Like, around a campfire, which is very hard. You really need, like, a good flashlight.
I'll bet. And did you ever read them?
No.
No. So would you go see this in the theater? I'm not going to. If we went as a group, I might, but I wouldn't.
Is it because it freaks you out?
A little bit, but yeah, I'm a big chicken.
This looks like a young adult's horror film.
Right.
Yes, and that's kind of what it is.
So I'm not a big fan of generic horror.
No.
So I'll go with Katie, but I won't go to it if I was going to it by myself.
Right. That's fair. And I wouldn't go with it just because either.
Yeah. Also, like, neither of you guys have read the book, so
No.
it wouldn't even have, like, nostalgia factor for you.
Nope. And it's not supernatural scary. It's just kind of scary. So it's not... That wouldn't freak me out. Yeah, spooky. Like the... what is it? The scarecrow that comes alive and after people. Like, that's creepy, but it's not enough to keep me away. It's not like it's... like somebody's possessed and there's demons and stuff. And only the priest that you've known since childhood can save you. So.
Oh, yeah, that sounds awful and scary.
Yeah, I don't like those. That's what I don't like. So
only the priest guy.
Yeah,
can save
with
you.
the special skill knowledge. And
He's
he's going to get killed before he can save us. So
Katie.
Anyways. So you might go see this in the theater?
I would love to.
Okay.
I don't know. Even though it is meant for a younger audience, but even when I was little, they scared me. The books were scary.
Wow.
And they're still scary.
I bet they are.
It is definitely meant for younger people, though. You know, where, like...
For, like, 12-year-olds.
It's kind of dumb, and for whatever reason, the children are the heroes, even though they... In all likelihood, they'd be dead.
Yes. Yeah, it reminds me kind of like one of those classic 80s teen films.
Well, yeah, except for, like, in this one, like, the kids are the ones who save themselves, whereas, like, in the older shows, like, they... Like in Goonies and stuff, they don't know what they're doing.
Right.
They only live through happenstance and luck.
Yeah.
But, you know, kids make mistakes.
They do. Adults do.
And it just... Yeah, adults make mistakes, so it's just very unlikely that kids would be able to figure out how to save themselves. But I like being scared, and this looks scary, and I think I'll like it.
All right.
And I'm okay with a little bit of dumbness where, like, you know, every kid is the one who can, like, save themselves, and it just doesn't... It's unrealistic, but it's fun. Right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So another trailer that we came across, didn't even hear anything about this film. You?
I hadn't heard anything about it brewing.
No. So we were just looking up trailers before the recording, and we came across Ad Astra.
What are you thinking about?
I do what I do because of my dad. He was a hero. He gave his life for the pursuit of knowledge.
Control, you getting that over?
It's crazy out there. There's fires everywhere and plane crashes. They're calling it the Surge.
Major, we have some highly classified information.
What can you tell us about the Lima project?
Its objective was to search for advanced extraterrestrial life. The ship disappeared approximately 16 years into the mission.
And the commander was?
He was my father, sir.
This might come as quite a shock to you. Your father was experimenting with a highly classified material that could threaten our entire solar system. All life would be destroyed. We're counting on you to find out what's happening out there.
I worry about you. I love you.
Please begin your psychological evaluation. As best you can, please describe your current mental and emotional state.
I'm feeling good. Ready to do my job to the best of my abilities.
I remain fully committed to the lawful completion of the mission. If necessary, I will destroy the project in its entirety.
The Earth put its hopes in him. And now, its fate is on me.
You have a job to do. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Brad Pitt's looking old.
He is old.
He is old. So
really,
this,
he doesn't look old considering that how old he is.
well, he's in his early 50s, right?
Yeah.
No, he's older than that.
Is he older than that?
Yeah. I think he's in his 60s.
No, he can't be that
He's
old.
probably close to his 60.
Sean, I'm almost 40.
Yeah.
Well, even okay, you know,
Oh, well.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Everybody who I've been talking to seems to be under the impression that he's in his 30s. He's in his 50s.
Well, yeah, he is.
But like, you know, actors and stuff
Okay,
are
so
in good shape,
Brad
so they look
Pitt
a lot younger
was
than they are.
born December 18th, 1963. So what? That makes him 56-ish?
Yeah.
That's not early 50s.
No, I guess he's older than I.
He's closer to the 60.
Holy jeez.
Yeah. Sean, how old are you?
Oh, I guess so. And Thelma and Louise came out in like 1991, and that's when I first saw him. And that's almost.
He's been in movies longer than that.
Yeah, and that's almost 30 years. Oh man, what's
It's
happened?
weird, right?
Where did the time go? Yeah. Okay.
It's just they still look good for their age, so everybody assumes that they're younger than they are.
Right.
So sometimes they're just like, oh, this person is looking old, and it's like they are old. They should look older than they look now. It is amazing how young they look now, even though you're saying they look old now. And then they're like, well, they can't be that old. I'm like, they're like 50, 55. They're like, there's no way they're 55. Because we always just assume, you know, you're 30, you're out of movies now, right?
Well, yeah,
So-
because that's.
which is silly because all of the biggest name actors right now are over 30.
Yes. Yeah, because even
Like all of the Avengers, every single one of them is over 30.
well, what's his name there? Thor. He was born in 1983, so he's like 36. So,
They're all over 30.
and IMDb is not letting me know how old Robert Downey is because it's not working.
He's like 53.
Okay, we'll go with that. I don't care.
Go to the wiki.
No, it's just the internet's not working for some reason, so that doesn't matter. But
I'm almost positive he's 53.
okay, but
I looked it up recently because I was having an argument with somebody.
Ah.
They told me about how the new Marvel movies were wrong and that all of their time was off because...
54.
Oh, okay, sorry. He must have just recently had a birthday.
April 4th.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, they were talking to me about how all of the Marvel movies were off because they couldn't even age Iron Man at the correct age and that he should be in his 50s. And I was like, he is in his 50s.
Right.
And he's just like, no, he's only like 40, like early 40s.
Sure.
And I was like, Robert Downey Jr. is like a little over 50. And they did not believe me. So I looked it up on the IMDb page and I was like, see? It's because models and actors get to go to the gym and they get to eat right and they look after their bodies because they are their job.
Exactly.
They
So-
have to look good.
So back to this film, Ad Astra, with Brad Pitt. What was I saying that it looked like? It looked like Event Horizon, Interstellar, The Martian, Moon, and 2 or 3 other ones, all wrapped into one big package. The Right Stuff, maybe.
So it's a good near future sci-fi.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You're throwing too much at it because like the trailer can only give you so much information.
And it is the first trailer, and we just heard about it this morning.
Yeah. So I think it looks like a good near future sci-fi. I'm super excited because they showed a space elevator.
Yes.
That makes me happy.
Brad Pitt's dad was an astronaut 16 years ago who got lost looking at some kind of material that's going to destroy the solar system, and Brad Pitt has to go find him and find out what happened. And the Earth is falling apart, and bad things are happening, and here we go.
His dad's not Matt Damon, is he?
Probably.
No, his dad's Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Oh, I love Tommy Lee Jones.
There you go. So I think I'd go see this in the theater. I love a good space movie.
Yeah,
I love particularly near future space.
Yeah.
Near future space.
Yes, like it's just a few years ahead of us.
Yeah. Stuff that shows, like, you know, if we actually put some money into this is what we could achieve.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Because a lot of the stuff that they in the near future stuff, it's just budget. Give NASA 1/10 of what you're giving the rest of the military.
Yep.
Watch what they can do.
That's right. So yeah, this film looks like something we would watch and talk about on the show. And speaking of NASA, I was this close to purchasing the Lego set Lunar Lander, the 1969 Apollo mission Lego set. I was like, because I had seen it on Facebook somewhere for $99. That was US, and I went to the Canadian Lego site, and it was $139. I guess that's not too bad for 1,000 pieces with a lunar module and some little Lego astronaut
Yeah,
guys.
Legos are expensive. That's
And
kind
then-
of the regular pricing
Yeah,
now.
I know. And then it was an extra $20 for shipping or taxes or whatever it was. I was like, $158 Canadian. I was like, put it in my address. I'm like, do I need this? Where am I going to put it? And I X'd out and I didn't buy it. But it was so close.
How big would it have been?
I don't know. It was 1,087 pieces.
Oh my god! You could have put it in your crazy ass mirror room.
I could have. Yeah. So I was this close to getting it, and then I said no.
Like if you're gonna do anything, because I know you don't really have any idea for what to do with that mirror, right?
Yeah, right.
I would put like shelf thingies in front of it so that you can see the back and front of figures at the same time.
That's not a bad idea. You mean that one wall that's all mirrors?
Yeah. And I would, well, even though I personally hate mirrors.
Yes.
But I would line the entire shelves with mirrors too, so that you can see every angle of every statue that you have in there.
And then put in some spotlights.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
It would be really cool.
Because mirrors not cheap.
No, they're not.
And you already have full wall.
I have so many mirrors in my house.
Way too many.
Way too many mirrors for any one person.
It is terrifying.
It is terrifying. So almost bought the Lego set, but you know what did come in this week? I bought Lady Jason from Kodabakaya, a 10-inch. How do you say it? Bishuju. Bishojo.
Yeah.
Action figure. Well, not even. More of a statue, I guess. PVC. It's Lady Jason.
Yeah.
What else can I say? It's a scantily clad girl with a machete and an axe.
Yeah.
With Jason's mask
You
on
know
her
what?
face.
I didn't realize until just now, but it kind of reminds me of, like the sexy Halloween versions of everything that's out there.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, you could be Jason the murderer, or you could be sexy lady version Jason the murderer.
Right.
It is like that, but as a figure instead of a costume.
Yeah, it's like that. There's a few blood spatters on her. Her machete's covered in blood. The axe, surprisingly, is not. She's showing off her tummy.
Yeah.
And the mask is on the left side of her face, so you can actually see her eyes and stuff.
You know what would be kind of really funny, though, is to do, like, sexy man versions. Like, where it's actually the murderer from the movies, but they're wearing as scantily clad versions of the clothes.
Like a dude in a Speedo?
You know, it's a bit disappointing that they don't have sexy men's costumes.
Right?
Yeah! Well, they do. It's just you have to go to special websites.
Oh.
But yeah, they should probably do it. They usually only make sexy lady version costumes, which is insane for up here anyway, because it is way too cold to wear.
At Halloween? Yeah, because there's usually 10 feet of snow
You
on
need
the
to wear a
ground.
snowsuit.
Yes, underneath your
Yeah.
sexy costume.
What are you being for Halloween? An abominable snowman. Chewbacca.
Mm-hmm.
Those are normal costumes for here.
That's right.
But I've seen so many people who are wearing almost nothing. It's like, what are you for Halloween? I am cat ears and a tail and a bell.
The last time we went out, before we had children, there was this girl waiting to get into the bar with us.
I felt so bad for her.
She was wearing just a tiny tube top with fairy wings on the back. A skirt maybe 5 inches long.
I thought it was just another tube top.
Basically.
Okay.
Right? With a little bit of frill at the bottom.
Right.
She looked like she was freezing. She was the wrong color. She was like a purple.
Ooh.
And she had like the strapped shoes with like the really tall heel, which she could not walk in.
Of course.
I don't know how she got there. I'm hoping she got there in a car.
And
But we had to wait outside the bar to get in.
Yeah, Halloween time.
And she was so cold. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
And she didn't bring a coat either.
We were out there
like
for
if you're coming in a car, you still gotta wear a coat.
Well, yeah.
We were out there for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's enough time to freeze.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was also wearing, like, a horrible choice outfit, but the thing is, I was wearing a snowsuit over top of it, and I went and used the coat check.
Well,
Because
yeah.
they have one of those.
Of course.
Because we live in Timmins.
Yeah, kind of necessary.
She was in a bag.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, and the last news that I have, because I'm looking at your Who You Gonna Call Ghostbusters shirt, I did come across an article that says Sigourney Weaver has signed on to play Dana in the upcoming Ghostbusters film. So has Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd.
They're all going to play Dana?
They're all gonna be...
I didn't read the
There
article.
is no Dana.
So maybe.
Only
but,
Zool.
But anyway, they're all reprising roles.
Good.
So I don't know when it's
So we're
coming
going to
out.
get a real Ghostbusters movie.
Apparently.
I enjoyed the other one as well. It was still fun.
It was still fun, but they tried to disconnect it from the Ghostbusters universe that it existed.
I don't care. They do
shouldn't
that
have.
with everything now.
Yeah.
And it was not as much of a success as they had hoped.
Yeah. I still enjoyed it, though. It was a good movie.
And it had Chris Hemsworth in it.
Oh my gosh, he was so funny.
He's everywhere.
Oh, I can't watch. There's a new Men in Black.
I know.
And he's going to be in it. And it looks fantastic. It's like a buddy cop movie.
Him and the girl that played Valkyrie.
Yeah!
That's right.
It looks fantastic. I can't wait to watch it.
So that, I guess, is the end of our show for this week, guys.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So not bad, right?
Not bad.
Another successful episode of Rusted Robot?
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody should follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on the YouTube channel.
Yes, you should.
Watch that 7-second fireplace video.
That's right.
Ooh.
Exactly. Leave a 5-star review in whatever podcatcher that you have. And until next time, remember that someday is not a day of the week. You have been listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast. To contact the show, email therustedrobot@gmail.com or tweet us at therustedrobot. Join the Facebook page and group and visit the website at therustedrobot.podbean.com. The Rusted Robot Podcast was put together by Sean and Josh and the Rusty crew. Please remember to check out our other show, the Soulforge Podcast, visit Jump City Comics in the 101 Mall, and leave a glowing review in your chosen podcast app. Thank you, and have a geeky day.
The Rusted Robot Podcast. Think about it.
To the mutants in the movies, from the studios at Fox, I hope you understand. When I got your director, the only thing I meant to say is I'm a Singer fan. The red S on my chest somehow is like a sentinel that's demolishing Cerebro. And I just walked him right in the danger room. Just a planet's last sun with a movie that's new. Except this time my shorts are painted blue. But from my point of view, I'm Earth's adopted son, even though I'm Kryptonian. Trying to understand your continuity. The return of Superman caused X-Men the last stand. But it ain't like you and me both came out reboot-free. No DC nation could cause this complication. We're still planning out the movies, hiring the directors, trying to set up Justice League. And caught between Christian Bale and George Clooney. Dear Mr. Superman, you could have had it worse, but you don't know what it's like in the Marvel Universe. Just because my genes are mutant doesn't mean I'm in the Brotherhood. Maybe you should get to know me. Nah, on second thought, we're good. You think aliens are the only ones to be misunderstood? People always abandon mutants. Should've known that Singer would. You wanted a reboot, fine, but did you have to take the goods? He just up and left us all alone with Ratner in the woods. You think 'cause you got Snyder and we got Singer back, we're good? Well, if saying that'll stop this awful rap, I suppose I could. Go to church if what you want is just forgiveness for your sins. But you still put me on the path to X-Men Origins. Adopted son. If you don't mention giant slaying, I won't mention sucker punching. Trying to understand your continuity. New 52. The return of Superman. If you ignore Barakapool, I'll ignore Stalkerman Returns. It ain't like you and me can rewrite history. Actually, that's exactly what we're doing.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic Store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.